7,130 pounds, triple slide bullet bunkhouse with full-size camp kitchen, wide stance stability axles, and a whole lot of good upkeep on behalf of the previous owner coming in on trade here at Haylett RV of Coldwater, Michigan. One thing I want to make mention to you real quick, if you note, you can see that their truck is still sitting right here. I tend to jump on this footage as soon as I can, as soon as something hits the lot. So like right now, I see that their hitch bar's right here. What I don't know is if they're intending for that hitch to stay with the trailer. What I would recommend is presume that is not the case. We actually don't like to deal a lot in used hitching here at Haylett RV. Just, you know, sometimes you just never know what it's been through. But sometimes they do go with the RV. That's something I would ask a question. I wouldn't assume it's going to stick with it. So with that out of the way, let's get to it, because there's a lot of good here. In case you're not quite familiar with it, the Bullet Premier by Keystone, it's kind of like if the Passport and the Cougars that you'd see every day here at Haylett RV had a baby. I think it's sort of like a Passport and a half, if that makes any sense. It's not quite a Cougar, but it's a little more than a basic Passport. They share the build construction of a Passport, so I'm very, very familiar with my way around this thing since, you know, we're a Passport dealer. Obviously, good looks on this thing. It's been very, very well kept. I haven't found anything on it I would really call a defect other than maybe a couple bugs on the nose cap from it getting towed here. It's all here. It is in great, great shape. Something else I just kind of keyed into while I was standing here. If you look, starting on the bottom of the closet on the right-hand side, there's a power outlet. There's power outlets on the face of the island. There's power outlets kind of up beside the refrigerator in that little nook of the slide-out. There's a lot of easy reach outlets in this thing, and that is something I'll give Keystone credit for. They're very good at that, especially in like their newer models, like their Cougar fifth wheels, Montana fifth wheels here at Haylett RV. You can see that this does have a vaulted ceiling, gives it that nice big interior look and feel. So it's a 6.5 foot sidewall, but that's about a 4.5 inch arch, and it really does make it nice and opened up in here. Another way to accomplish kind of the same thing is some trailers like a Freedom Express here at Haylett's will have a 6'9" interior, which is kind of handy. Keystone does a lot of this up here. Like you'll see this overhead vent. That is actually, its primary intention is to help exhaust heat from cooking, but it kind of doubles as a little bit of a skylight. It's sort of nice that you get a 2-for-1 on this. The refrigerator, that is an 8 cubic foot two-way fridge freezer, 110 shore power or propane. That's a little bit bigger than the standard series Bullet would have been during the time that this was built. That's the thing to remember. You got to always look at these used RVs compared to what else was built at the time. Now, this triple slide model gives us a big open space living room, but what it's really going to do, if we open this up and take a look, you can see it actually has itself some pretty excellent storage space, you know, below the counter there, even below the entertainment center, all the way over to either a combo closet, pantry, or however you want to adjust it, since it does have adjustable, removable shelving, and you might have spotted that hanging bar up top. If I back up just a little bit, the TV does pivot out pretty severely. So it's easy to see from the slide, from the kitchen. It's possible you could actually tilt it to face toward half the bunk room. You know, there's a lot you can do with that. Now down here, taking a look at the island, high-rise sprayer faucet, stainless sink. I like the double covers. But as we get down below, if we open everything up down there, you can see that there's awesome like pots, pans, storage space, some good drawer space, which is something that is always welcome. Not to mention, as we come around the corner, you see that the dinette bench ends slide open to give us awesome storage there, where you don't have to go digging on your hands and knees. And then the ball bearing glides goes around, everything running smooth. I'm not convinced the RV was ever used much. I think it was used a little, but it doesn't look like it was used much, because like you don't even see indentations in the seating where people put their backsides. It looks pretty good. This is something I think Bullet probably caught a lot of flack for, but frankly it was really smart. You see the one folding leg right there, and then how it brackets to the sidewall of the camper. That makes that table easy to set up and take down, and very, very stable when it's in the, you know, kind of dinette eating position or card playing position. But people see one ironing board style folding leg like that, and the first word that comes to mind is, oh, that's cheap. I don't get that. Sometimes it doesn't have to be expensive. It just needs to be effective. All of the lighting in here is LED, which is really nice in your hotter seasons because you don't want incandescent bulbs creating more heat than you need. That's a 300-pound rated folding bunk, by the way. Down below, we've got those kind of convert-a-cube jobs. These things, I love these. I love these a lot. It's kind of funny how things, ebb and flow in terms of favor of the RV industry. In today's market, a lot of people want a little folding sofa right here, which is fine. You know, there's benefits to that, but these individually you can operate them as like a lounge, a sofa. They can open up into something almost equivalent to a king-size bed that 2 adults can sleep on. I mean, it offers this floor plan. You can have 4 separate sleeping spaces in this bunkhouse, even though people at a glance count 3 beds. I don't think they realize that. I like the breeze window here, but something I think you're going to enjoy is this is built with 50 amp service, and they did add the second air conditioner back here in the bunk room. So if you really want it to cool down like crazy, this model can do it. You've got your big kid bed in that upper bunk space right there. And then as we take a look over here, on the right hand side you see a little bit of kind of like a ladder wall. But if we open up all the storage, what you see is there's, even here in the bunk room, a really nice chunk of storage capacity. As we finish that up and work our way out of the bunk room, you see that there's a privacy curtain on the right hand side to pull that shut. The angles of everything here kind of preclude the ability to have a full privacy door, but it's tucked back here in the corner so much, I think it still qualifies as a privacy bed. No, maybe your opinion varies. That's fine. I'm just shooting my ideas at you. More easy reach outlets. That one down there would be handy for like sweeping type appliances. The vaulted ceiling much more obvious when we're at a direct angle, Stanley Kubrick style right down the middle of it with that 1-point person perspective. Control panel right by the door makes it easy to like flip on your ceiling lights, slides, awnings, things like that. And I like the little coat hook by the door. That is a very underrated feature. This big plushy couch over here is actually a trifold sofa, and if we open that guy up, you see that could also sleep some adults. So in addition to the little converter cubes that you see in the back, this model is very capable of sleeping not just little people, but big, full-size grown adult type people as well. Over here, though, this is something that separates this from most travel trailer bunkhouses built during this time period, is that it puts the bathroom up by the master bedroom, not back by the kiddos, and it has a shower, not a tub. The vaulted ceiling plus the location of that combo skylight vent right there, very intelligent because it'll allow a taller person like me to be able to fit in there. There's a little more counter space here than you might realize because on either side of that faucet you got some room for like some toothbrush holder kind of stuff, and that power outlet next to the sink there, that is GFI protected. Foot flush stool here in the corner, and I was able to sit on that and have plenty of room, and I'm pushing 200 pounds right now. I'm a little thicker around the midsection than I should be. Not super proud of it, but that's a fact, Jack. And I fit on there just fine. I'm a pretty big guy. You should be able to manage. The sliding pocket door there in the bathroom to the bedroom gives us some privacy, but of course we've got like a master door here. So what's nice is there's a door from the living room and a door from the bedroom to the bathroom, so that no one has to really like interrupt one another. There are TV hookups directly across from the bed. You can see those on the ceiling. You can mount a TV on the wall if you are so inclined. Dual, well not dual, but I guess you call it opposing breeze windows, so 2 windows, however you want to phrase that, over your 60 by 80 True Queen residential size bed. There is storage below that. And over here on this big side stand, you see that you've got this funky little different colored cover. Well, this is a handy, simple, inexpensive laundry chute. I like how they have that trimmed out real nice, though. That's a nice touch. Put a laundry basket down there so that yesterday's clothes have a place to go today. Sinking through the floor to that laundry chute. Don't ask me how I fit through that. It was not pretty. It involved a whole tub of I can't believe it's not butter and a whole lot of wiggling. But you can see the extra large... Sorry. Extra large pass-through compartment. All kinds of aluminum construction. That is one of the 2 things that they've done on this to help keep the weight down. Well, I guess 3. First of all, tons of aluminum skeletal structure in combination with a lot of lamination. Laminated walls and floors keeping the weight down on this thing. Secondly, they're using a Norco chassis, which is a lighter weight chassis made with higher strength, lower alloy steel. If you don't know what that means in English, it just means lighter but stronger. Third, this has a service roof, not a walk-on roof. What that means is it's a 3/16 deck, not a 3/8. That's the only difference, but it saves a couple £100. Now that is something Bullet has since changed, along with Passport has since changed in the late, basically after September of 2019. If something was built September of 2019 or after, it'll have a heavier roof deck, but it'll weigh more. That is one of the reasons this is nice and light. Now, it's a long trailer, but the weight will be well within the capacity of many half-ton pickups. The wide stance stability axles are helping us with that length and towing. I wouldn't necessarily be unhappy at all if you had a heavier, like 3/4 ton pickup, but a proper half-ton could be able to handle it. Again, I said proper. That doesn't mean every single one. Power tongue jack on the front. We do have a heated enclosed underbelly, as Bullet calls it, the thermal package. That is a phrase that everybody has, and everybody means it different. What it means here, the underbelly's enclosed, and there's a 30,000 BTU furnace helping keep some heat direct force down here. If we slide down the sidewall here, you can see everything's nice and glossy. The decals aren't peeled and faded. Frameless windows on the exterior sidewalls give it that nice, clean look. Those are an egress-style window, which means they tilt open. A little bit better for rainy day airflow. They don't tilt open much, so not quite as good for sunny day airflow. But with this thing having 2 air conditioners, I don't think that will be much of an issue. On the back here, she is grill ready. I have not located a grill to go with this one. Keystone did a funny thing for a couple seasons where they were including grill brackets, but not actually providing grills with campers. We saw that on a couple brands like this, or Springdale back when we carried them. It's one of those funny things in RV history that I happen to remember that will never be on Jeopardy, folks. Alex Trebek's never going to be, what model years did Keystone include grill prep but not a grill? And I'll get it wrong. I get it wrong anyway. Large camp kitchen, which has become a little bit harder to find in the modern market, but that bigger fridge is a welcome thing for a lot of folks. Good cabinet space, and then under this overhead cabinet, there are power outlets and TV hookups. Look at your upper left right now. Real sink with a real drain, inset into a galvanized rolled steel countertop. That's something a lot of folks are going to appreciate. Plus, that extra drawer right there for your utensils, super, super handy. I mentioned the wide stance stability axles. Basically, the tires are spread apart. If you're not familiar with what that means, if you're a little bit newer to RV shopping, and when the tires are spread further apart, it makes the RV less inclined to wiggle and bounce when you're going down the road. And that gives it a, smoother, easier towing experience. Now, the kitchen slide is under the awning, but that awning, I'm eyeballing it, it's somewhere between like 18, 19 feet. And it goes about, 8-10 foot deep, and that's only a 1.5 foot deep slide. You can still have plenty of room for picnic table and chairs under that awning. I can't really find anything that's not right about it, guys. The only thing wrong with this RV is it's parked here and not in your drive. So give us a call. We do it all at Haylett RV, hitching, pieces, parts, trades, finance, RV delivery, and everything in between. So take care, stay safe, have fun, and happy camping, everyone.